kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. As we here at Sim Racing Media are absolutely delighted to be celebrating here with you an anniversary of sorts when it comes to SCL competition. It's going to be their 13th year celebration race here for the final race of their street stock competition. My name is Zach Woods, and up here in the booth is Jonathan Leach. How are you doing?
Zach, I'm doing great. Another epic intro leading into the SCL weekly series, and I think this will be a fun one for the street stocks that never disappoint when it's you and myself up here.
Yeah, certainly. We're gonna be treated tonight to a event that will involve a lot of drafting, and drivers were able to talk about that last week as we talked about coming out of a race that looked a lot more like what these cars are designed to do. But now venturing on over here to Texas, it's going to be a super speedway race of sorts with these guys.
Well, last time when we were at Pocono, a slightly different track for vehicles like this, I was curious about the top speeds, and that's not going to change today either. Curious to see what kind of speeds that these cars can get at the track here. Haven't really looked too far at it, but lap times really not too bad. I'm seeing what I believe was 35-second laps. I'm gonna try to put those results up real quick so we can we can just review those lap times. 37-second laps. That's not so shabby for what these vehicles are.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the draft, of course, it's going to be picking up quite a bit here. We're going to be uh, on the cusp of a 60 lap event here tonight. Remember, here at SCL competition for their street stock division, yellow flags do not count towards the end of this race. We have to go 60 green flag laps. So going to be really exciting to lay it all here out on the line. We're going to talk to the guy in charge, Josh Hill, once these cars get underway under pace laps, just to mention a few things about the anniversary of SCL. But I think we're going to let them do their drivers meeting. How about that?
That's probably a wise decision. But since we're going to talk with him, let's go ahead and go over the starting lineup. Starting on the pole is going to be Brandon Varney. No surprise there. With Matthew Marston, rookie driver. It seems like every time I'm in the booth and Matthew Marston's here, he slowly gets a little bit better. He had a couple fifth place finishes last week, looking to capitalize on that and come out with a better one this week. Kenny Tripp, no stranger to the top three, and Todd Merkel starting fourth. Fifth is Josh Hill with Adam Lowe. Starting in sixth, Matt Schlosser and Justin Cormier for row 4. Row 5 is going to be Joshua Broadwell and Greg Birch.
Following Greg Birch, we have Trey Obaker, and beside him will be the 49 machine of Todd Russ. We have the 13 machine of Andrew Miller, followed by James Lindsay. Young Sikun is going to start 15th tonight on the grid. Ryan Kelly is going to be 16th. 17th is Chris Myers in that 24 machine. Saw him go to victory lane in the Cup competition last night. So really excited to see what Chris can do in back-to-back nights. Michael Rinker is going to start 18th. 19th will be David Hanna and Patrick McGinn rounding out your field tonight.
All right, no better time than now to talk about some track information. 81 degrees outside, track temperature a boiling 114 degrees. Quite windy out there. It's sustained 16 miles per hour. Not too humid, partly cloudy. The track length is just under 1.5 miles at 1.46. And for any of those pilot geeks that care about the altitude, we are at, I believe, 659 feet.
Well, you would certainly be the guy with all that info, and we're getting ready to watch these cars slowly go away. Just a couple minutes left here in driver intros. Jonathan, what are you excited to see when it comes to street stocks at a track here like Texas?
Well, you know, I'm going to just kind of count it as Pocono. I didn't see any other mile and a halves, but all I remember from Pocono was they were quick, and there was great racing all race long, and we had a 5-car finish for the possible win coming to the checkered. I'm expecting to see something similar to that. I don't feel like it's these cars are going to get super spread out, or at least the top 5 or top 6. I don't think they're going to get very spread out. I could be very wrong. You know, more of an oval instead of a tri-oval. Corners are a little bit similar, not 3 distinct different turns. But I think we're going to have several cars racing for the win at the end.
It's going to be certainly entertaining here as the cars meander on down the backstretch very quickly. Very quickly here, we're going to be pulling in Josh Hill, the guy who makes it all happen here at SCL. Right before we get started here tonight, a big day for you guys here at SCL.
Yeah, big day. Thanks for broadcasting it for us. We're here to celebrate our, 13 years?
13.
Yeah, we started in 2010 over on the PlayStation 3 platform back then, and it's been a long road. Just a lot of fun, a lot of good guys in this series, and I'm glad that it's prospering and staying where it is right here on the SRN.
Well, the field majestically coming down to take the green flag here at Texas here. I'm going to let you get back in the room and do your job, so good luck.
Thanks, guys. Have fun tonight.
We will. As we're already into turn number 1, it's 2x2 racing. Brandon Varney, Kenny Tripp, 1 and 2, and everybody else behind them side by side. Josh Hill managing to talk to us on the radio and race himself up to 4th place. We're going to do a better job and get in touch with him later. I'm sure we're going to have a a mid-race break at some point, aka yellow flag. But already starting to see kind of what I expected. I just don't think these cars are really going to get away from each other too much. And I've already seen speeds at about 140, 150 miles per hour. I wonder how fast we'll be able to go.
Yeah, the pressure now is for the cars back in like 13th, 14th, 15th, because you can see there. Oh, wow, look at Brandon Varney all the way down to the apron here as he gets way out of line. There's cars at the back end of the field, and it's going to include Brandon Varney. There's a lot of pressure to stay with the pack, so can't get too far behind.
I wonder what caused that. I didn't notice a wiggle or anything. Did you see anything?
I believe Kenny Tripp got into the back of him coming out of 2, but
let's see right here. I might have found possibly. Now it looks like he just comes right down the track. I'll back it up real quick. I normally don't like doing replays like this. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it just looks like he pulls over and lets everybody go by.
Huh.
Could this be some confidence stuff right here?
Maybe.
He knows he can drive through the field, wants to have some fun.
And Brandon Varney, he's your champion, right? So coming into tonight, there had to be 30 plus cars in order for it to be a contest between him and Kenny Tripp. So much like the Cup side of things, last night we saw Maxwell Caldwell take the green flag knowing he had the championship in the bag. Brandon Varney's doing the exact same thing, so he's going to be out here with nothing to lose. Side by side, though, a couple rows deep here. Great push here from Matt Schlosser in the 400 machine.
Yeah, just looks like maybe my theory was spot on because they're just not separating at all. And normally in any kind of racing, by around lap 5, lap 6, you start to see some separation. None of these guys are separating. The top 10.
Oh,
well,
my goodness.
That's the way to do it.
Schlosser trying to get to the inside of Kenny Tripp, and Tripp just blocked him all the way down to the inside wall, said, nope, you're not getting by me. Schlosser's going to fall way back here in the field. He's going to be battling, trying to stay inside the top 10. It's not going to work.
770 in the wall.
Yep, hard in the outside wall.
Then 751 behind him as well. But I want to go back to this. The top 15 are all within 2 seconds of each other. It's like this is a super speedway race for these cars. Look at them pushing right here on the top side. More cars drop into the back. Josh Tarrant Hill out into the front now, the number 21 machine. And something, Zach, I thought was really cool. They started on the PS3 platform. Where I started racing like NASCAR games, racing games, was Xbox 360. No, that's wrong. PlayStation 2. I started in the NASCAR 2007 game. Played that for several years. Got into an Xbox 360. NASCAR 09 came out, and I fell in love with that. And then, unfortunately, after that, EA Games no longer had the contract. And I'm not as much of a fan of the Heat series and the current manufacturers of the NASCAR game. But we have iRacing, so I'm not really going to worry too much about it. As we just saw Josh Tarrant Hill drop to the back. In fact, we're seeing a lot of drivers drop to the back. Do you think maybe they're trying to get everybody some screen time?
I don't know. Josh Tarrant Hill kind of got booped out of the way, so to speak. But a lot of drivers who were up front that got shuffled along to the back didn't exactly go back there on their own accord. As you can see, Adam Lowe throwing a huge block there on Joshua Broadwell. He's going to have the inside now on Todd Merkel looking for second.
Yeah, look at that. Matthew Marston to the point. Last race, I know he had some people watching him in the chat. A few Marston fans are here. Please show him some love because he might need it with Adam Lowe to the inside right here. I think he's going to complete the pass. Todd Merkel on the inside to help with a little bit of aero, and Joshua Broadwell looking to take advantage. In fact, he's dropping back too. Someone didn't tell us something.
That was a little odd. I think
twice, it might be a coincidence. This is 5 drivers now. Something is going on here.
Well, I guess it's Adam Lowe's time to spend some time at the front. He's going to be leading Todd Merkel, who had a strong run, podium finish in the Cup side of things yesterday. Adam did not get that finish that he was looking for on the Cup side. He's going to look to finish out this season of street stock competition with a win. But as you said earlier, being in the lead, oh no, there's a big wreck down the backstretch. That's the 49 machine of Todd Russ. The yellow is out. We're going to have to see where this all began. Hard hit for Todd Russ.
As you were talking, I saw one vehicle get into the wall and it's trying to get back, hand the cameras over to it as quickly as possible. Just made it. So let's see how we're on. Wrong people here. What is going on? Why did that not show us what we need to see? Let's try this again. There's Todd Russ. See, that's all 35 get up there. And see, Russ got on the grass, got a little loose. Holy cow, did you see the front end of that thing fall off?
Yes. The new damage model on these guys, you can see front ends of cars just peel off. Yep. Getting into the 751 machine of James Lindsay. He was put in a bad spot. Russ got loose on the inside, went through the grass a little bit. You saw the 35 of Marston into the fence. Lindsay nowhere to go but the middle there. But now I think Jonathan, if I'm taking your cues right, might be a good time to bring in Josh Cherritt-Hill and get a little history lesson on SCL.
That's what I was thinking. This is going to be a good break, and maybe we can figure out why so many of the leaders keep dropping back.
All right. Well,
actually, let's let him get through pit road first.
Oh yeah,
then we'll.
Well, he was psyching us out. He was trying to psych the field out and managed to psych the people up in the booth.
Few drivers staying out. 11 drivers to be exact. Adam Lowe, Merkel, Broadwell, O'Baker, Birch, Miller.
Remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Remember, the only reason why you pit in this league is to get damage repair and to get fuel. The only tires you get are the tires you qualify with. So these drivers are trying to figure out, okay, does the balance of my car feel better with more fuel in it or with less fuel in it? That's pretty much the only decisions guys like Josh Cherritt-Hill have to make right now.
That's a good call. Wasn't thinking about that. But on his outlap right here, I figured this wouldn't be too terribly bad of a time to try to get in touch and give the floor back to him.
All right, back up with us is Josh Cherritt-Hill. I have to mention, Josh, I didn't remember if you raced or if you RC'd your Street Stock series. And I looked down in abject horror to see you were indeed racing while we were interviewing you the first time around. We're sorry for that, but Jonathan's got a few questions for you regarding SCL.
Dude, what you got?
Well, so we wanted to give the floor back to you because we have a little bit of a break here, but we've noticed multiple leaders just pull over and let the field go by, and I'm thinking we might have missed a little bit of information. Is there something y'all are special trying to do and give people some laps led, or?
Well, lead a lap, you get 5 bonus points. Lead the most laps, you get another 5 bonus points. I think, like me, Varney, Tripp, we try to get a lap led, and then we try to get in the back and try to save our tires. Because they're going to count at the end, I think.
Okay, well, that's a reasonable thought. I didn't think of it that way.
Can't change tires in this series, so. Mm-hmm. And I just jumped in to top up the fuel because it's only a 50% fuel tank.
Well,
I'm going back to green, guys. Can't really talk.
Oh, we're going to let you go here. See ya.
Thanks.
It's just chaos here all the time, Jonathan.
That is the fastest yellow I've ever seen.
Back to green here. Single file restarts for SCL competition. We're going to take the green flag, lap 11, and it's going to be Adam Lowe leading the rest of the field down. And we're going to have to see how aggressive these guys are going to be on the high side. You're not double file anymore, so use the top lane at your own risk. Let's see if Todd's able to just cruise behind his teammate. As you can see, a couple strong guys up on that top line, Varney and Tripp.
Well, now that we know we're talking about hanging on to your tires, as oh, that could have been a thing right there between the number 12 and the number 1. Not I want to say I'm surprised. They always tend to find each other. You know, I didn't think about tire wear. In race cars, I figured the tires wear the same way at tracks like this, especially when the speeds are 150 plus. Um, I just thought it was so uncharacteristic. We watch so many drivers lead a lap and just pull over. That just doesn't seem like what I would want to do. I
Yeah,
figure
well,
being up front would be better.
these guys are going to manage their stuff. It's you can see the yaw in the cars as they kind of fling it into the corner. So these guys up front are really being aggressive with their tire, and then guys further on in the back can kind of ease the car in through the center of the corner and make their way accordingly around the field. So going to be it'll certainly be interesting as these laps wear on, because you have 60 green ones whether you like it or not. So these drivers can't hide from the amount of laps that are going to happen here tonight.
Nope, not at all. And really, just the whole thing is a gaggle of machines. In fact, this is so cool to see. It's behaving like a super speedway would with trucks or cup cars. I didn't expect the track to behave quite like this. I thought we would have some cars bunched together, but I didn't expect the whole field to be bunched together just like a super speedway.
Well, there's some pressure. I tried to mention this before, but the 14th place car, Josh Terrett Hill, is, I think, the first car. He's the first car not involved in this front pack. And that's all well and good. But if this front pack gets its act together, they can really pull away from this group of 3. And those tires that Josh is trying to save isn't going to matter if this thing stays green. And that's something that SCL has proven they can do in the past. So definitely a risk here hanging way back here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would bank on a caution happening. However, when we go back up here, these guys try to say, these guys tell me otherwise. You got 2x2, everybody wiggling around. I can't imagine how turbulent it is driving in these machines. See, go on board with Schlosser and see how much he's having to wheel this car. Look at that. Yeah, that is, you could tell that's turbulent with how much he's got to wheel that.
Yeah, just sawing on the wheel, trying to play aero. It's got to hang on the rear corner panel of Trejo Baker there.
You know, Zach, the other day we were both in an event, and this is the first time I discovered how turbulent iRacing has recently become. They've done a really good job with how air affects vehicles. I was super surprised when you get cars all right next to you, how much just random pushes that can only be explained by chunks of air come into play with these machines. And I can't imagine these things turn quite as well as trucks or cup cars or Xfinity cars. As you saw Schlosser get down to that white line, could have had an incident there, but held on to it.
Yeah, Greg Burt's trying to wiggle his way down to the inside line, had buyer's remorse of staying outside, but now he's going to try to get a push here from the 24 machine. We talked about him at the top of the show. Chris Myers, he's working his way up front. But yeah, absolutely. This is a track that does bring about the aero needs of the race, and I'm really excited to see what happens. I'm also curious to know what happened to Michael Rinker here in the 9, that Caterpillar Dodge up here. He is in 18th right now. He's secured himself a spot in this front pack. But Jonathan, 2 laps ago, he was in this front group. He was a part of this pack. I almost made a comment about how much I appreciate the Caterpillar machine, but I didn't. And now he's getting laps, so I'm wondering what happened to him.
It looks like he pitted on lap 15 for 8.5 seconds. I don't know why he would have hit it under green for 8.5 seconds. Unless he's anticipating this is going to go green and that was to have enough fuel to make it to the end, or perhaps he had a problem and he just had no choice other than to pit to fix something.
Well, Josh Terrett Hill did say he did expect gas to be a thing, right? Because, wow, look at that outside lane, that 37 going back and forth. But Boss Man, oh, there it is. 770 sideways into the corner. How is that not a wreck? He saved it. Oh my goodness. The 770 of Justin Cromier was pointed towards the inside fence in the middle of 3 and 4, and he somehow saved it.
Try to get a better view of that.
.37 just flying across the racetrack, but yep.
That caused things to spread out a little bit more now. In fact,
Well,
that might help this group of Hill, Russ, and Yun. I'm not sure how to do that, unfortunately, or pronounce that, I should say. And but now back to those guys. That's a 13-second gap from the leader to 16th now.
Yeah, and these guys are still dicing up front. Look at Michael Rinker looking to the inside of Todd Merkel. You have to mind your P's and Q's as a lap car. And Todd does a great job navigating that space. But Rinker now wants his lap back the hard way. So the 58, 2, and 400 machine, they're all battling for position. But that 9 car looking to get his lap back.
I'm not so sure I would really want to push the issue here to get my lap back. You're already in the lucky dog position. Why would you push it? Yeah, it helps you. It helps you a little bit, but it doesn't help you that much. Either way, you're going to be at the end of the line if a caution comes out.
Well, that's not necessarily true, because if these drivers who have yet to pit need gas before the end of this thing and a caution does come out, Michael Rinker, instead of being the lucky dog, the last car on the field behind everybody, would be sitting with about half the field. He'd be about 10th.
I have to remember they have the single
run.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I have to remember they do the single file restarts and change things up a little bit. It's not the traditional thing you normally see with racing leagues here. This is the problem when we have 20 shows a week, Zach, and they all kind of funnel together sometimes if you're not too careful, and I'm a little less experienced or more rusty than you are. So I'm really glad that you're up in here in the booth with me, and you can bring SCL really the last 2.5, 3 months, and you're really understanding everything. I hate that this is the last one now.
Yeah, we're really, really excited to partner up with SCL and bring to you guys here on the different viewing platforms that we support different track disciplines from these guys, because they always put on a good show no matter what they're doing. Cup cars, here at Street Stocks, or the Super Truck Series, they're always putting on a great show. And to be able to partner with those guys, it's been quite a treat. And to be a voice in the booth, not across all of those races, although if the opportunity presented itself, that'd be really cool. As you can see them fanning out here, looking for the lead. That 400, he's tired of hanging around in the back. But to be a common voice across this particular league, man, it's been a treat, because these drivers always put on a great show.
Yeah, when having to get back into the scene with sicknesses and people not able to work anymore for picking up really great roles in the outside world, this was the right league. This was the right group of guys, the right racers to get involved with. And you were the right person to call the show with me. It's like instant chemistry, other than when I cut you off once or twice in a race because I get excited. But just it all came together really, really well, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And talking with Josh Terrett Hill, I know they're looking at bringing the Cup Series back. I don't remember the timeline, or if he gave me a timeline. Not really sure yet on trucks or street stocks. They might be select events, but looking to bring the Cup Series back to us. You got a car on the wall back here, the 00 Joshua Broadwell. But really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just, man, Adam Lowe is just throwing all the blocks. But just to continue on, Josh Terry Hill talked about at the top of the show that this is the 13th anniversary. This is the celebration of what SCL was, or is, and as far as they've come. As you can see, a transfer here for the lead between Schlosser and Lowe, and I can only imagine some of those guys have been around from the very beginning, playing on console, wondering, what the future might bring or how long this group's going to last. And then to go 13 years to be one of our more interactive shows now here on YouTube, with folks watching every week, that's got to feel good, right? To build a community that has lasted this long on iRacing, because that's really rare in order to keep a group together this long.
It sure is. And, we actually have another league this evening, similarly to that, the Western States Racing League. I think they date back into the 90s, if I remember correctly. I think they were old PlayStation gamers, if I remember, and now they're on iRacing. It slowly went through the consoles to this. I'd have to double check, but Tony Trapasso and Mike DeMoney, they know the answer to that. But I think it's so cool to have two leagues partner with us. Special thanks to WJM Motorsports for the help in letting us broadcast. But two leagues, super long tenure history, being a part of the SRM family, and it's really cool to talk about. And one day we're going to be that old too, and that's going to be really weird to think about, because it's probably going to happen quicker than we think.
Absolutely. And you know what else has happened quicker than we think? That second group. That second group has caught up to this front pack, led by, I believe, Brandon. Oh, no, not this group, but Brandon Varney's group and Kenny Tripp. They have led, remember, not too long ago, this front pack got split up because there was an incident on track, and now these two groups are coming back together. And it's because this group from about 8th through 12th have decided we are not going to battle with one another. We are going to stay in line. And they've been slowly but surely reeling in this group to the point where now they're there.
Yep, they sure are here. And they got a bit of that side-by-side drafting from up front right there, which is going to help them out a little bit. Which leads me to believe that these guys are out of luck. And
well, unless if there's a yellow, we'll have to see. But these guys are now secretly rooting, I guess, for that front group to get some issues. And who knows, with different pit strategies, we may actually see green flag pit stops if there's concerns about fuel here tonight.
Yeah, well, definitely, since the guys from let's call it 10th back, they all pitted already, and Chris Myers, who's driven all the way to the front. I don't think he's gonna have to pit. Look at that Schlosser getting pushed. Ooh. Not Schlosser, that's Adam Lowe getting pushed down like that. Hangs on to it. But perhaps that's what Josh Terrett Hill and these guys are banking on. Green flag pit stops coming around as well.
That would be a treat as Schlosser gets booped up to the high line. They're now 3 wide for second. Chris Myers thinks better of it, lets the 400 machine slip back into line. That 24 has been such a great pusher here this run. He and Schlosser have pretty much done all that work all by themselves. They're now going to get help. Look at the 37 cutting all the way back across the racetrack. That's Trejo Baker. He tried to make a drastic move to the outside, and that car did not like it. But yeah, the Highline's been pretty much two guys for quite a while.
It looks like they are pushing too. So I guess if you're comfortable with it, you can really get up and go. In fact, I can see how it would work. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. If I'm Michael Rinker in that 9 and I really want my lap back, I would think about jumping up there, because that 24 and 400 have been really good all by themselves. Can you imagine how much better they'd be if there was another car in front of them? And this front group is also catching lap traffic themselves. So that 9 car, he's going to start fighting people for a lucky dog spot.
Yeah, that's where it's going to start getting interesting when they catch these other lapped machines. But, I wonder if 3 cars or 4 cars is worse than 2 cars, because you kind of get into pushing the pusher scenario where someone goes around, and perhaps you can push more aggressively as in a 2-car tandem with these machines, because it doesn't exactly look like the cars line up perfectly. And I mean, I could be wrong. I've never bump drafted in a street stock, and I don't think I'm ever going to. Because I just don't race them anymore. Maybe I should, but perhaps it's better. Because look at this push right here. They're staying with this group of 6, 7 without much of a struggle.
Yeah, and what gets me is Myers knows exactly when to push and when to lay off. He's not too aggressive in the corners. He is a little aggressive on the exit, but he has to be, right? In order to push that 400 all the way down the backstretch. Now we're catching some lap traffic. This is going to make things interesting as the 9 looks to the inside of Todd Merkel. Whether Merkel likes it or not, he's on the high line now.
And they fan out coming up on this lapped car. That's number 35. That's Matthew Marston. We saw lead laps early, get some damage. And he's kind of right in the way, really hurting the outside lane a bit. But they're going to navigate that fine up, out, and he is up, out of the groove there. Like he's going to find himself more towards the middle of the pack if he doesn't fall even further. Try to get a closer view of that machine, see if there's any significant damage. And I'm not really seeing any significant damage. Do you?
A little bit on the driver's side, but really, we talked about the draft extensively. If you're by yourself, you're hurting for speed. So these guys are going to have to find a buddy and try to hang on. We saw the 9 do it, so certainly 35 can do it as well. But the leaders are also catching up to more lap traffic here. So it's going to be. They're not done. We just saw the 35 free falling back through the field. If you like what you saw there, stay tuned because we're not done yet.
They're not done at all. Hello, Adam Lowe coming down pit road. Here come the pit stops. I was wondering about that. Lowe, Birch, Broadwell, Baker down pit road. So there you go. Everybody's going to have to pit for sure. That has not already pitted.
What a treat here for SCL competition. A green flag pit stops for street stocks. This is almost unheard of. As I've done seemingly more races than I can count here for these guys. And to see these guys going down pit road under green, that's awesome. So they're going to go get gas and just gas and leave as soon as possible.
And they're on pit road for a while. 30 seconds already. Fueling these things must be atrocious. Still down pit road. So maybe that move to pit and sit in the back, perhaps Josh Tarrant Hill and Todd Rush and Patrick McGinn, they've been saving fuel back there?
Perhaps, but if you're any one of those guys, you're looking at the pit road and seeing how long these stops take. If you've already pitted, you probably feel like $1 million right now because you've definitely made the right call pitting under yellow because that took forever for some of these guys to get out. We're looking at Adam Lowe. We're looking at some of these guys that are leaving. They're all by themselves right now. Look at Adam Lowe. He's about to get lapped. This is definitely going to change how this race plays out.
I mean, a 44-second pit stop and a 54-second pit stop, that's definitely not going to help this field or help their case as far as staying up front. And I don't think with 19 laps to go, that's recoverable.
Yeah, unless, and here's the other thing. If you pit at lap 10, and the reason why you pit at lap 10 is because you can take less fuel later on, then there's a chance, right? There's a chance for Adam Lowe to make up the time. But I'm now looking at Michael Rinker, the driver of the 9 car. He pitted on lap 15. We were asking, maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe 15 was the magic number to go down pit road. Everybody else went as far as they could. And this might plop into Michael Rinker's lap, going down on lap 15 instead. So maybe these drivers who pitted on lap 10 can't make it. Perhaps Rinker can with that extra 5-lap buffer. Or maybe they all have to pit. We don't know with 18 to go, but certainly strategy going to play a big factor here now.
Yeah, well, we've had nothing but great finishes, so I'm going to be watching to see a green flag finish and interested to see how all of this cycles through.
Well, if if you're Chris Myers, you're counting your lucky stars right now because you started 16th tonight, or you started 17th rather tonight. And not only do you have the lead, but now you have a buffer between you and the two favorites of this league, Varney and Tripp, in Michael Rinker. So the 24 and 9 are going to be really good friends if the 9 decides to stay behind.
Yeah, that is true. So 17 laps to go. 13th anniversary celebration at Texas, made possible by WJM Motorsports. And we've got some interesting things going on. Rinker only had an 8-second pit stop. Everybody else, 20 seconds or more. The guys that went down pit road at 20-second stops. These guys under green, 40-second stops. I wonder if it's like an all or nothing. You fill the whole tank or none at all. It can't be like that, but a 40-second stop doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. So something to consider, Jonathan, is iRacing's new fuel feature that determines your lap time and how far extra you want to go during the race. If you forget to toggle that off, you're getting a full tank whether you want it or not.
I was thinking about that.
So that could very well be the reason why some of these guys went long. But in the meantime, they're all chasing Chris Myers, and he's got a buffer between him and Brennan Varney and Kenny Tripp. Ryan Kelly up here in 4th. Great run by him in the 13. Able to weather the storm here early on. And then look, Josh Cherritt-Hill's right where he started, hanging around in 5th place.
Hanging around in 5th, about 9 seconds off the lead behind the number 51 machine of Greg Birch. Perhaps saving fuel, being right there behind him. Really wonder how this is going to come out to play. I really don't want to see a yellow. I just want to see this go all the way. And however it sorts out is how it sorts out. And I just want to find out. This is when you don't want a yellow. And you got another car coming down pit road.
It's a 13. Yep,
Yeah,
that's Ryan Kelly.
He was a lap 10 pitter.
Yes, so that means if you're part of that 10-lap group, which currently is the first 6 drivers on the racetrack, if your metric is Ryan Kelly, you're coming down pit road here very soon. So we're going to have to see if this front group is going to go down here with 13 to go. Man, I'm sorry, but it really makes me think, like, did Michael Rinker just steal this thing if his magic number was lap 15?
5 more laps of fuel, you know, that's... I think Ryan Kelly... No way I missed that for 22 seconds, but I might have. But Rinker might be in a good spot. In fact, I'm showing him 7th right now. Oh, he must have gone around.
Well, he's the first car one lap. Yeah,
timing is acting up. There it goes. Yeah, he is still the first car 1 lap down.
Mm-hmm.
With a 10-second gap over Ryan Kelly. So those 5 laps work for him.
Yep.
Man.
And if there's anything, Jonathan, I have learned about SCL competition, it's to expect many diverse pit strategies and to just expect the unexpected when it comes to strategy call. And this league is so good at making these kinds of races where there's fuel strategy, there's tire strategy if you're looking at the cup side, and it just seems like they do it every week. And it's so fitting to celebrate the 13th anniversary of SCL with another patented race that'll come down to strategy.
I've enjoyed watching this. As there you go, Hill, Russ, McGinn, all in. We missed it while we were talking. Boy, this is gonna fall right into Rinker's hands.
Oh my goodness. More lap 10 pitting. That's the 4th through 6th place machines. And up front, look at Michael Rinker. Rinker's going to go down with them. Okay, so the magic number for Rinker does not play out, which means Are we going to cycle back around to Ryan Kelly perhaps being the leader? He's got to unlap himself and make his way around the circuit. Oh, man.
That's going to be a really tall order, but, you know, it might be close, but Josh Terrett Hill's already coming out right now. Kelly is on the back stretch. I think these guys might
He's
have
ahead of
enough
him.
speed.
Oh, man, we're going to have to see where timing and scoring spits all this out.
This is a good time to try to put the track map up. That doesn't...
Take a look at Varney and company. They're leaving pit road right now. You can see the 13 on the track map coming around. Is Greg Birch going to help him or hurt him here? Ryan Kelly.
I don't know if
I
I'd
think
have
it
pulled
is.
out like that. It is. It's going to be Ryan Kelly.
Wow, going down a little earlier, perhaps, is going to pay dividends for that 13 machine. And he's got Greg Birch in front of him. If they work together, he might be able to pull away from now Brandon Varney and Chris Myers, who are your second and third place competitors.
Well, and we got to remember that Chris Myers is that excellent pusher and Brandon Varney is an excellent driver here. They got 8 laps. They got to make up 2 seconds. Can they make up 2 seconds a lap? I'm not so sure. I will say that Ryan Kelly and Greg Birch are not really working together. They're side by side. That's already cut the gap down by 0.05 of a second in a quarter of a lap. And now even more side by side. But they're going to need more than 1/10 of a second a lap to catch them.
Yeah, I think if he would have stayed behind Greg Birch, he probably would have lost a little bit more time. This is further on back through the field. This is Matt Schlosser and company. This is a battle for 7th with Todd Russ. Man, Todd Russ, he was hard into the inside wall early on in this race. What a rebound for him. He's up to 7th. But Adam Lowe, he's going to come out here the big loser of that pit cycle. He was in the lead, battling, and now he's all the way back here in 9th. Really got to hope for a caution if you want to see some positive results out of tonight's event.
I just don't think we're going to see a caution.
Well, Greg Birch now on the back bumper of that 13 machine of Ryan Kelly. What a story it would be here for the 13 machine to bring that home. But you got 2 guys in Varney and Myers who are so strong in this series, looking for one more win. Can they hunt him down?
That gap's down to under 1.5 seconds now from Varney and Myers to Ryan Kelly and Greg Birch. Birch is going to have to be Kelly's best friend and stay right with him. Down to 1 3/4 seconds with 5 remaining. They cut 7/10 off in about 5 laps, but that's not going to be good enough. They're going to have to cut off more than that in the next 5.
Yeah, and the closer they get, though, the faster they'll be. So if they can get a sniff of the draft from that 51-lap machine of Greg Birch, you're going to catch him pretty quick. But, man, I think you're right. I don't think they're going to get him.
Down to 1 second. They might. That was about 1/4 second that last time around. So Ryan Kelly ran a 36.9. And Varney ran 36.5, so 0.4 of a second. Excuse me. We might be set up for, once again, another last lap phenomenal finish between 3 drivers. In this case, there'll be 4 vehicles, but 3 drivers for the win.
How fitting would it be on the 13th anniversary celebration of SCL competition for the number 13 to visit victory lane? He's going to have to fend off the champ in Brandon Varney and Chris Myers, another of one of the series favorites, sporting SCL's partner in WJM Motorsports. They are there now. There's no more gap. The race is on here with 3 laps to go.
And now it's anybody's game. They're going to break the draft up and they're going to be all over the track. Ryan Kelly's going to have to get extremely wide. He does just that down to the bottom line. Greg Birch is going to be a bit of a pick right there for a moment. But now it's going to be Kelly, Varney, Myers. 2 laps to go. Barney, wow, really close to the bumper right there.
Oh my goodness. 2 laps to go. We got a 3-car freight train now to the outside. The 13's got to get real wide here. The 1's going to look to the inside. He's got a lane. The 24 will go with the 1 down the back.
Yeah, I think Kelly made a mistake right there. I don't think he had to open that lane up like he just did. I would have stayed put. And I think this is going to cost him. It's not going to be 13 for 13. Instead, it's looking like Brandon Varney from the 13th anniversary, fitting for the champion to win the final race. But we're not done yet. Chris Myers is still there, and we've seen the ability for these cars to get a big run. Kelly trying to make something happen still, coming to the final lap, coming to the corner. What will he do to be the 13 on the 13th anniversary? And what will Chris Myers do that might aid in his chances here?
Flying down the backstretch now, diving into turns 3 and 4. It's Brandon Varney leading Chris Myers and Ryan Kelly just behind. They will try to catch the lap car of Michael Rinker. Will he play a factor? Does Chris Myers have a run? No, he does not. It will be your champion, Brandon Varney, taking it here at the 13th anniversary celebration of SCL competition here at Texas. What a finish. Different fuel strategies all playing out. Chris Myers going to finish 4th with Ryan Kelly bringing it home in 3rd.
Yeah, once again, another phenomenal finish. We had these 3 guys together. Kenny Tripp was 4 seconds behind them. And then to get to 5th, you had to get 14 seconds back for Josh Tarrant Hill. And the rest of the field, led by Adam Lowe, started at 22 seconds behind. So the top 3, cream of the crop, class of the field, in pitch strategy, not necessarily speed.
Yeah, it was quite a treat to see. They got us, Jonathan. Both of us thought that, hey, Varney and Myers, they're too far back. They're not going to catch them. Well, we were wrong. They certainly did. They had 2 laps to the good and managed to make the pass. Nobody wrecked. That's probably the biggest testament to this league. Nobody wrecked, and great finish here.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, that's 4/10 a second. Wow, it's another 4/10 a second. Oh, it's 3 laps to go, and here they are. Kind of feel down for Ryan Kelly after you said how fitting would it be. You know, that would just be such a spectacular thing to take the Ben & Jerry's ice cream machine to victory lane. But it wasn't meant to be. Instead, the champion shows why he's the champ by far. And you know, Chris Myers didn't battle him for it. In fact, we saw Chris Myers give him a bump across the line.
Well, let's bring in Ryan Kelly. Let's see if we can't talk to the driver of the 13 machine. Ryan, it's Zach and Jonathan up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you almost played that pit strategy to absolute perfection. We up here in the booth thought you had it in the bag. But what could have changed there in those last 3 laps to really fend off those 2 guys?
Yeah, I'm not sure I could have. You know, they were coming quick, and I mean, maybe I should have just pushed. I just forgot the name of the lap car that was in front of me. I tried to go around them, and maybe that cost just that bit of time that they got. But they did a fantastic job, and they were fast all night. So yeah, it almost worked. I was just riding around back there and calculating, and I was like, it's gonna be close. So. Almost came off, but it was a good race.
Well, we were rooting up here for you because on the 13th anniversary of SCL competition, it would have been really fitting to see that 13 go into victory lane, but not meant to be. But still, hey, a podium night for you. I feel like I haven't had the opportunity to talk to you a lot up here in the booth, Ryan. Talk to those who are watching about your season here for SCL competition.
Yeah, I ran a season or 2 ago and was running some other stuff, but I'm going to be doing the Gen 4 cars, so came back for tonight, the final race, and also the final race of the next gen last night. Congrats to Maxwell and Brandon. So yeah, looking forward to next season and just getting a race with some of the guys who are looking forward to next season.
Awesome. Well, hey, do you have any thank you, sponsors, or shout outs for tonight's 3rd place effort?
Yeah, Marco was Tom Marco, my teammate tonight. He's been teammates for a while, and so it was nice to race with him and all the SCL guys. They put on a great show, and you guys up in the booth, of course.
Well, Ryan, go and enjoy it. P3 tonight.
Thanks, man.
That's Ryan Kelly, your third place finisher. And now, Jonathan, for you, I'm going to bring up Chris Myers in the booth. It's Jonathan and Zach. You got a coffee?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Chris, Jonathan up here. Question for you. It seems like there are multiple different strategies going on in the race. At what point of the race were you able to figure out how you wanted to make your best attempt to possibly win the race? And why didn't you make a move on Brandon Varney towards the end?
Well, to be honest with you, I kind of came into this, Brandon pretty much had it locked in between him and Kenny, there for the championship. I believe I ended up third in points, if I'm not mistaken, which is great. But I just wanted to go all out tonight, just push real hard, try to get all I could get, put on a show, give y'all something to talk about. So hopefully I could do that for you. And then honestly, I thought it was really cool that me and him could get linked up there, and we've raced really good all season long. So for us to get linked up there and then to catch the 13 like we did, I just figured, hey, why not push him to the win here for his championship? So
I think that's a really fitting answer. I've found myself behind the wheel thinking similarly to that, so I can appreciate that mindset. Considering this is the last go for a little bit, what are you going to do when your time off away from the league before the Cup Series gets back underway?
Well, I'm actually constantly running. I got to run NIS and Road to Pro. I'm running those right now, so I've run a little bit during the week, but mainly during the week I focus on this because I work quite a bit. So just get in here in the afternoons or late at night, actually. Get in here and run these races. It's a whole lot of fun, and I love getting off of here and going back and watching the broadcast. So.
All right. Well, is there anybody you'd like to mention, talk about, thank? The floor is yours, and congratulations on a good finish.
Thank you. And I was in here for the win last night, but I'd like to thank Bill Mulfield, WJM Motorsports again, everything he does for sponsoring the league and having us on the team. Garza Law Firm, Oxy Green Solutions, Claude Haggerty, Super Sponsor Man, Extreme Sim Racing Media, or Extreme Sim Racing Products, and SCL for hosting everything, and you guys at Sim Racing Media for holding the broadcast.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris. I hope you enjoy this. Congrats on the P2 finish, and we'll talk to you again sometime.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right. And with that, we are now going to be treated with the champ and the winner, Brandon Varney, up here in the booth with us. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. I bet you we're not doing as well as you are right now. Talk to the viewers tonight about your time out there on the track.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love doing these restricted plate races and these things. It's all strategy, and it's what I love about them. Man, just kind of rode around pretty much the whole race, just waiting for the wrecks to happen. That didn't happen, so then my game turned into a fuel mileage game, and fortunately, we were able to pull it out.
Well, you managed to take home not just the win, but also the championship. And I think we have a couple visitors up here in the booth. I'd like to say a thing or two to you as the champion here for SCL Street Stock Competition. I think Adam Lowe and Josh Jarrett Hill are up here in the booth.
Yep, we're up here. Congratulations, Brandon. Me and Adam would like to congratulate you on being the Street Stock champion, and we're going to present you with a trophy soon. It will be mailed to your house. So congratulations, you've done an awesome job this season. I think you'll represent the league and the series well in the future.
Awesome. Thank you guys for doing this. This was a cool league. Good, clean racing all year.
Yep, no
Well,
problem. It's a pleasure to put it on when you got good guys like you racing in it.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
13 years worth of celebration here for SCL tonight. What a special show. Able to crown a champion, able to not just do that, but also celebrate a win here tonight. I'm going to well, Jonathan and I, we still have work to do, so y'all can have your feel good feelings down in the waiting room. But good job tonight here, Brandon. Do you have any thank you sponsors or shout outs you want to give for tonight's event?
Yeah, for sure. My grandpa and Fleabag watching at home. Nan and Pup, I'm sure they're watching. My mom, dad. I never remember to thank them even in real life. So glad they're out here watching. My fiance for allowing me to do this. Without her giving me the time to race in real life and virtually, I wouldn't be able to. So just everybody that's allowed me to do this and is going to help us this year. Thank you.
Well, hey, he's a champ now, friends and family. So here on the virtual scene, Brandon Varney taking the street stock competition championship. Congratulations once again, and go and enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Jonathan, it was a treat being able to be up here with you in the booth, but now it's time to go through the finishing results for tonight's event. I'm going to let you take this.
I would be glad to. You know, another fantastic finish, and figured that was how it was going to be, as you still see burnouts in the back, fitting perfect for us while we're going through the results to finish this one up. Brandon Varney burning it to the ground, driving backwards around the track. Varney is the champion, and the winner takes the lead with 2 laps remaining from Ryan Kelly, with a solid push by the second place finisher, Chris Myers. Kenny Tripp finishes 4th, and Josh Tarrant Hill. These 2 drivers both finish quite a bit away from the leaders due to different pit strategy. Coming home 6th is Adam Lowe, and 7th is Todd Merkel. Todd Russ and Justin Cormier are 8th and 9th, rounding out the top 10. Patrick McGinn. Finishing 11th belongs to Michael Rinker, who we both really thought might have had the strategy to win the race, and just came up a little bit short. About 5 laps too short, because I don't think anybody would have caught him had he had enough fuel to remain out there. Greg Birch helping Ryan Kelly possibly to victory, finishes 12th, a lap down. 13th belongs to Treo Baker. 14th and 15th is Andrew Miller and Matt Schlosser. James Lindsay comes home 16th. Yang Sik-yun 17th. Joshua Broadwell 18th. Unfortunately, Matthew Marston, 35, has damage, kind of gets out by himself. Finishes last for today's event, but has some people in the YouTube rooting for him. And he gave it a good run. He led a couple laps. He showed some speed early, and it just did not quite work out. So, unfortunate finish for him, but what a great conclusion to the Street Stock Series for the SCL Racing Series and the 13th anniversary celebration at Texas. It's been an honor to call this race, especially with Zach Woods as my partner. He's done everything he possibly can to really know this league up and down, and keeps me honest every time I get in the booth with him, and I've really enjoyed this. So,
well,
go ahead.
It's been I just wanted to send it back your way before we log off here, but yeah, it's been a treat from us here at Sim Racing Media to the devoted viewers out there on our various platforms. We want to thank you for supporting SCL competition, no matter what they wind up driving, whether it be Cup Series rides, Street Stocks, or the Super Truck Series. You guys are always so good at tuning in and commenting and rooting on your favorite driver. Be attentive to our socials to see if we might be sporting some SCL competition in the future. We'll see. But until we meet again, my name is Zach Woods, and for the boss man, Jonathan Leach, we want to wish all of y'all a great day and have a good night.